Right Honorable Sitiveni Rabuka and Lady Rabuka. Ministers of State from both countries who are here tonight, all of the special guests who came in with Prime Minister Rabuka to visit Papua New Guinea this time around, who were part of his entourage, all corporate citizens from both sides, all citizens of Fiji who are here, members of the diplomatic family who are here today, those who are close friends of Papua New Guinea, and all of them close friends of Fiji and the Pacific. We do sincerely acknowledge each and every one of you and your presence here tonight. All heads of department, all distinguished guests, our media, ladies and gentlemen. In this part of our country, Your Excellency Prime Minister Rabuka, we say Hanaboy Namana, meaning good night or good plan night in our pidgin vernacular. A good evening to each and every one of you. Mr. Prime Minister, on behalf of every Papua New Guinean people, our government, I want to sincerely extend a heartfelt appreciation and offer you our warmest welcome. I know you have been received very well by our Deputy Prime Minister who's here at the head table. Him and our Defence Force, as well as the Governor of our city, who's sitting at the head table also, the Honorable Powers Bakup, and the Deputy Governor of our city, the Honorable Dadi Toka, and our children from the Motu Kwaita, who are originally the owners of the land in which this parliament is built on and our nation's capital is housed in. They did welcome you at the airport, but for this moment, as we host you for this dinner, let me again, on behalf of our country, our people, say welcome, and we see you not just as a head of your country's government, but more importantly, a senior leader of the Pacific, our family who's come to the other island that we were once a part of. We welcome you and the delegation to Port Moresby, nation's capital, Papua New Guinea, one more time. This is not the first time you have graced our national parliament, and I am certain this is not the last time you'll be here. This is your part of the Pacific, this is our home, and I just want to appreciate Fiji and Papua New Guinea of our shared heritage. We belong to ancient of all cultures. Whilst the world was still hunting and gathering, we were navigating this part of the world. We were seafarers. We were traveling the high oceans together. We were cultivating land, in fact, in Papua New Guinea mountains. We have a World Heritage Site. 10,000 years ago, we were in practice of settled agriculture. And since then, we were also navigating this part of planet Earth. Mr. Prime Minister, we are relatives by blood. We come from the same ancestral stock. We are same people in the same ocean. And for you to come here following many, many other Fijians who've come here earlier. Our relationship in contemporary time when we were still under colonial administrations. You came here first as missionaries. You came here as policemen, you came here as interpreters, you came here as soldiers, you came here as government officials. We would have visited a grave of Fiji's most decorated soldier, Corporal Zephaniah Suka Naivalu, who's buried at Pitapaka War Cemetery. He's lined with many other Fijian soldiers, Not too far from that, Mr. Prime Minister, we have Fijian missionaries who are buried at the north coast of our Gazelle Peninsula in a village called Kavakada. Fiji and Papua New Guinea have a shared history. You gained independence ahead of us. The father of your country, modern Fiji, and the father of our country, modern Papua New Guinea, forged closer rapport. In this early 70s, when you became independent from the Great Britain, and her ambassador, her High Commissioner rather, is here with us. Your Sir Rabu Kamara was instrumental in assisting our Grand Chief Sir Michael Thomas Marape for our own nation's walk towards independence. And so you are not among strangers, but amongst family. We have second and third generation Fijian Papua New Guineans amidst us. They are a product of educational exchanges, a product of church exchanges, and a product of cultural exchanges. The earliest in modern education, Mr. Prime Minister, we had, for instance, our country's earliest doctors were trained in Fiji. Your schools like Suva Central Medical School in Tamavua in the mid-1940s to 1950s trained some of the leaders of Papua New Guinea's medical fields, namely Dr. Wilfred Moy, for instance, and Dr. Thomas Gaunede, Dr. Frank Moy Asi Senior, and Dr. Ruben Tareka. These are big names in Papua New Guinea. They are leaders in their own fields, more so in the medical space. Their children have emerged to be leaders of Papua New Guinea. Some have half of your Fijian blood. They still live here today and play a very important role in what is modern Papua New Guinea. Mr. Prime Minister, your Fiji and my PNG are intertwined at the hips forever. We try our best to stick with you in all your moments. You yourself will have very fond memory when the whole world sort of shied away from you. My predecessor came to you and embraced you. One of my predecessors, rather, in the 1980s. Recently, I followed similar tradition when you became Prime Minister. It was a deliberate act of coming to pay you respect, for you're no ordinary Prime Minister. You're not just a leader of Fiji, but you are a senior leader of the Pacific. In this time when we have many challenges of economy and the stress our island nations are going through, much of which are imported. Imported inflations as a result of Ukraine war, for instance, the stress of the COVID-19, for instance, and of course issues like sea level rise, issues like climate change, the insecurity our people are exposed to at high seas. Tomorrow I look forward to your presence at our individual bilateral relationships, our bilateral meeting. You are a man who have seen years of experience. Here in Papua New Guinea, you have high standing. And as I mentioned earlier, we welcomed you back here as not just a leader of Fiji, but a leader of the region and a friend, a family of Papua New Guinea. We look forward to the bilateral exchanges tomorrow. Thank you for respecting our Governor-General as he sat on the floor, and I was advised and I was also moved. It only takes a great man to give respect to another man in that manner. You don't have to apologize of actions or inactions of past leadership. Past is past. We have shared positives. Our positives outweigh the negatives of past. Our shared future remains ahead of us. We have identified a good land for you to settle your mission. We will ensure that we assist you in some of our unfulfilled commitments of recent years to start the process of you settling your mission here. And we look forward to concluding a bilateral that will be the start to anchor the modern Fiji, modern PNG relationships. And I look forward to your experience as we go into FIBIC. You will have a special placement in our FIBIC conversations, for there can be only one Sitiveni Rabuka, and you are here with us. On this note, High Chief from the land of Fiji, very much welcome to your other country, Papua New Guinea, Nisambula. God bless Fiji. God bless Papua New Guinea.